I play Minecraft with a lot of mods, and in my opinion, all of them are relatively vanilla. So today I want to go over every mod I use in my Minecraft, and how I make Minecraft look vanilla using mods. These are all of the mods that I use in my favorites, so let's go over it. Okay, so right here, I'm using a couple of mods, but I'll go through my mod menu. First, apple skin. If you look over the hunger bar, you'll see these little outlines. This is a hidden statistic in Minecraft that shows your saturation. Basically how long until you're gonna start losing from your hunger bar. Basically apple skin is just really nice for PvP and for knowing when you're gonna run out of hunger. Camera Unals is a zoom mod where I can zoom in and it's a nice gradual zoom, and also it allows me to do this with a camera filter so I can see farther out. It's just a really nice gradual zoom mod that looks good in videos. It does a couple other small things like make your movements look slightly better, but it mainly is a zoom mod. Shot I use for taking like screenshots and thumbnails, I guess. What it does is it takes really high resolution screenshots. Flashback mod is what many YouTubers use for making their cinematics and videos. If I go into my pause menu, this little start recording button, if I press it, as you can see in the top, flashback has started recording. I can do anything in Minecraft, play normally, do literally anything I want, and then when I can pause, I can cancel, or I can stop and then give it a name. And then I can go back at the end of the video and show you the replay. I'm on the pause menu. If I press this button, this is that flashback from the beginning. If I press this button, then, as you can see right in here, this is where I was in the cave. As you can see, I open the torch, I move around, I do, whatever I was doing in the cave. And then I can use this little button to add in different waypoints so I can make cinematics for videos. As you can see, it just is a really nice cinematic camera. Free cam allows me to have a free camera, go through blocks, see anywhere I want. I can also press a different button that allows me to control my character while I'm in this state of camera. Gamma basically allows you to change the brightness, so if I switch off of my torch, as you can see, it's dark, but you can still definitely see pretty well. And that's because if I go into my video settings, my brightness is at 300. You can change it all the way up to 1500. And as you can see, it's basically full bright, or you can control it with your keyboard going down. I usually go between 300 and 500. 500 looks good in caves where it's bright enough that you can see, but not too dark and still torches work. Or I put it down to 300 when I'm going to the surface, because then you can still tell that it's dark and things like dynamic lighting still work up here, but it's still bright enough that you can see. Dynamic lighting is very compatible with gamma. As you can see, if I'm holding this torch, if I drop the torch as an item, it lights up the surrounding area, where if I switch off, as you can see, the brightness goes away. This is good when you're in a cave, because then you can use things like a torch to light up your path and make things brighter. This mod's really cool, I really like this one. Lithium just makes Minecraft run slightly smoother. I think it's with entities and calculations and RNG, but I'm not entirely sure. I just know it makes your game run smoother. Mod menu is what I'm looking at right now. It's this little button on your pause menu where you can see all of your mods in one list and configure them. Mouse tweaks is really cool. It does a couple things where I can just hold down my right click button and go up and down. I don't have to take my finger off. You can also scroll items in and out of things like chests and your crafting grid, and it just makes the mouse inside of your UI a little bit smoother and faster, and so it's really nice and convenient. It's one of those mods that once you start using, you kind of forget it's that good, and just really useful in general. Particle Rain does a couple changes to the rain textures. If I set the weather to rain, as you can see, the rain goes kind of crooked instead of going normally, more spread out, so it's not as cluttered. And if you look closely, you can see a little bit of fog or mist, which I think looks really cool. It also changes snow and snow biomes, and just overall looks really nice. It doesn't change anything, it's just visual, but it looks cool. Shulker Box tooltips You can press shift when you're holding over things like an ender chest or over top of shulker boxes so you can see what's inside of them, instead of having to place each shulker box. Also, if you're wondering what this is part of particle rain. After it rains, it leaves like a little mist on the ground. It looks really cool. This skyboxify goes specifically for my resource pack called Dramatic Skies. If you look at the sky, you'll notice that it doesn't look vanilla. It looks really different and high resolution. That's because it is a high resolution texture pack. It just changes the way the sky looks, the way the moon looks. If I change it to day, the clouds just look slightly more realistic and nicer in my opinion. And at night it has a really nice sunset look. It just looks really cool. I really like the way it looks. I know it's not necessarily vanilla, and that's kind of the point of this video, but I really like how it looks, and so I think it's good. Also, directly above you, there's not clouds. They just go kind of around and move with you, which means that when you're up in the sky, there's not clouds blocking your view. I personally think it looks really cool, and this mod you just need for the resource pack to work. Another resource pack I have is from Vanilla Tweaks. It just changes the way a couple things look. For example, if I give myself some redstone, as you can see it's nice and clear. Makes it easier just for building so you can see the brightness level of redstone. It adds outlines to ores, and just does a couple other small things like that I think are really nice and make Minecraft more fun to play. Sodium just improves your performance, and Sodium Extras just adds a couple more things into your video settings. So if I go into video settings, that's why it looks slightly different. It adds more options, tells you what things do, and then these just add extra effects to Minecraft. Status effect timer, if you see up here where I have haste, it says how much time is left on that effect. It just tells you how long until your effects run out, so really good for potions. Armor HUD basically adds this little thing at the bottom of the screen. If you see, it shows the armor. When I switch to an elytra, it shows, and if my armor's about to break, it adds little exclamation marks so I know to switch it out. It's just really useful for knowing what armor you have equipped, when your armor's gonna break, and just seeing what you have on without having to check the durability and things like that. Just good for multiplayer and survival in general. Wii Zoom is the mod that I've been using probably the most in this video. It's a very immediate zoom. It's similar to Optifine, where if I press a button, it immediately zooms in to the same point, and you can use the scroll wheel to go farther and zoom farther out, but it always goes to the exact same spot, similar to Optifine. World edit, I can show you in a creative world. Basically, you can use a special tool to place down a bunch of blocks really quickly. It's really nice for building in creative mode. Okay, right now I'm in a Minecraft creative world. If I go / wand, I get a little stone axe. And this is how world edit works. Let's say I wanted to extend this platform. All I need to do is build a block where I want the platform to extend to. If I want this to be the first point, I select it. I can come over here and select this point, / set, and then I can set it to stone if I want to do that, and it just makes a stone platform. If I want to texture it, I can do / set 50% stone, 50% andesite, and as you can see, it has a nice texturing. Basically, it does that. It can add walls. It's really nice for building. It just basically makes building so much easier. And then the mini map, as you can see at the top, there's a little map that shows exactly where I am, shows little waypoints. I can press a button to make it bigger, and then if I press this button on my keyboard, as you can see all around, you can see different waypoints, how far away they are. I didn't plan that. You can just see how far away they are when you're getting closer. When you're getting farther away, it shows how far away they are and adds a little icon so you know when you're getting close. And then in the mini map, top left corner, you can see where different waypoints are, which is really useful in survival. And then you can really easily add brand new waypoints to anywhere, which is really useful. Those are the mods I use. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them in the comments. Hopefully this was cool, helpful, you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Subscribe.